the more you limit the spread of the virus, the more you will prevent mutation. At this point, I would say there is no cause for worry, but there is cause for concern.
On 24th March, the Health Ministry announced that genome sequencing by the Indian SARS-CoV-2 consortium has found variants of concern and a novel double mutant variation in India. What does this mean, and should we be worried as a second wave unfurls across India? We're joined by Dr. Shahid Jamil, virologist and director of the Trivedi School of Biosciences at Ashoka University.
India has started sequencing in much larger numbers for the past few weeks. So at this point, I think more than 1,000 viral sequences have been done by these labs. And out of that, what they have discovered is that the three variants of concern that are present internationally, one is the UK variant lineage, the second is the South African lineage, and the third one is the Brazil lineage. They're all present in the country. The UK lineage is there in maximum number of cases, and that's understandable because of the travel between UK and India. The South African variant has also been found in cases largely travel related. And the Brazilian variant has been reported, I think, only in one case. What the consortium found was that in about 15 to 20% of sequences that they have done, there is a double mutant combination that has emerged in India, which has not been seen elsewhere. Individual mutations in this lineage have been seen. So there is a mutation called L452R, which originally was seen in California when California went through a big surge in their cases. And the second mutation they found is something called E484Q. Now, the important thing is that the E484 mutation has already been found in the South African lineage and in Brazil lineage, but that is E484K. What we are finding is E484Q. That's a different substitution at that position. So this is a novel combination that has not been seen. And the fact is that it's been found in about 15 to 20% of cases that are being sequenced now. So it looks as if there is an Indian lineage sort of emerging at this point. The short answer to that is we don't know that yet because epidemiological correlations have so far not been done. They're going on. That's a much longer process than doing the sequencing.
Yes, the ministry also said that they haven't been detected in significant numbers to establish any link.
Mutation is a natural process that happens in viruses. When viruses replicate, it's like when we are typing something, we occasionally make mistakes. We have the ability to go back and correct that mistake. Most viruses, RNA viruses especially, don't have the machinery to correct those mistakes. So whatever mutations, whatever changes happen, they cannot be corrected. Having said that, coronaviruses do have a mechanism to correct the errors to some extent. And that's why coronaviruses don't accumulate mutations as much as other RNA viruses do. But mutation is a very natural consequence. Some mutations are selected because they provide some advantage to the virus. That advantage could be better spread, that advantage could be evading immunity. And this is what has been seen, that the mutant lineages that are emerging provide some positive effect to the virus. And the same is there with these viruses as well, these mutations as well. If the mutation was detrimental to the virus, you would never see it. There is a thing about single mutations coming in the virus. But then, once a single mutation is selected in the virus, another mutation could happen in that virus. So a double mutant emerges. Another mutation can happen in the double mutant virus. It becomes a triple mutant virus. And that's how distinct lineages develop. So to give you an example, the UK lineage has 23 different mutations. Okay. Out of 23, there are 17 mutations that make a change in the protein that the virus makes. The others don't affect the protein. And out of those 17, 8 of those mutations are present in the spike protein of the virus. That's the protein that's critical both for entry into cells as well as binding to antibodies and the virus getting neutralized. So this is a very natural consequence. Mutations happen at random. Mutations are selected for, and that's why we track and trace these mutations to see what is emerging where. These two have emerged in India. There is another mutation that is found in now about 1/3 of viruses that are coming from southern India, and that's called the N440K mutation. And all of these mutations are in the region of the virus surface where antibodies bind to neutralize the virus. So it will have some effect. How much of an effect? It will depend upon which mutation, or rather which combination of mutations we are talking about. Individual mutations may not affect the antibody neutralization that much, but if multiple mutations happen in that region, then it becomes a problem. The other concept to understand is that the virus does not have infinite capacity to mutate itself, because after a while, these mutations become detrimental to the virus too, right? So this is a very fine balance that's happening in evolution. And this is what we're seeing simply because we have more than 200 million cases in the world. We have over 11 million cases in India.
The ministry did say that 5 to 6% of mutation is normal, but when it impacts public health or results in increased transmission is when it's concerning.
At this point, I would say there is no cause for worry, but there is cause for concern. And I think instead of worrying about it, the best thing we can do is to follow COVID appropriate behavior. It's not over yet. It will be over, but it's not over yet.